This is that famous program, Get Real with King Arthur. And I am King Arthur. And we're going to talk today about New Year's resolutions. I may talk more than one day about it. I think January should be a time to think about such things as resolutions. Let's play a little game here, suggested by Lord Byron in Don Juan. That's how the British say that name of that poem. In Don Juan, he talks about New Year's Day as an inn where the traveler riding in a coach would change horses. We would call it a pit stop, but we want to think of it in terms of in the 19th century inn, where we ride into the inn, each individually, of course, and gets a new group of horses and gets sort of reconstituted in the journey. After all, the basic metaphor of life is it's a journey. And so we're on a journey, and we're going to pretend that we're at an inn. So we'll put the horses, let them put the horses away, and going to look at the carriage. It's a little worse for wear here, for the ear. And we'll be looking at it and examining it and tooling it up or whatever. And we're going to be facing the new year in the light of the old year. That's what January means. I mean, it's after the god Janus, who looks back and forward. He has two faces. Well, okay, so we're at the inn. And I'm going to say, I will be the Lord of the inn, the owner, and I say, welcome to you. Have a happy new year. And I'll say the mistress of the house or the inn is also going to greet you. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria. Meet the guests.
Come in.
Queen Victoria's then looking at the bedrooms, make sure they're all shaped up for the guests. Here she is, Queen Victoria. Greet the guests.
Hi.
The tongue got your... the cat got your tongue.
I said hi.
Hi? You're going to wish them a happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
I understand that you've started the new year by moving to a new residence.
I have, yes.
And is that a good move?
It's the best move.
A best move.
Yes.
And so the Queen Victoria and I, King Arthur, wish you a happy new year.
Yay.
Thank you, Queen Victoria. Now, we're going to spend at least one day, maybe the whole month, at looking at the past and forming resolutions for the future. January is a good time to do it, my friends. We've had the wild heat of summer, and you've had the wild harvest time, and all the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So it's now January, a time to look back and time to look forward. A time for us to pause and examine ourselves and see if we're on the right track. Life has a way of zipping by so fast, and we've got so many things on our mind, and we need just to take this January and relax. Come on in. We got a big stew ready for you, some hot drinks. And you look around here, you got a lot of friends waiting for you. These are people who care for you. I wonder if you would follow my suggestion and greet several. Who are people that have cared for you over the years, dead or living? They're rooting for you. And they're congratulating you, and Queen Victoria and I congratulating you on surviving another year. But you say, so what? A lot of so what. Life is not easy. And you are here, still living, and you've still got your mind. You got some degree of health, and you have some kind of eagerness to learn, or you would never be on this YouTube program. So we're going to unwind here and look at ourselves. And we want to look at ourselves in a loving but honest way. I remember the hostess of the dining hall at college would say, I'm smiling, but I mean it. So I smile, but I'm going to encourage you and me and Queen Victoria here to take some serious but kindly look at ourselves. One thing that we need to start off with is a proper appreciation of just who we are. I don't mean someone great but the fact that you're a human being, oh, wonderful, oh, tragic fact. Well, let me repeat that. Oh, wonderful, oh, tragic fact. I used to say to my freshmen in freshman composition, now I want you to write about yourselves, because we first started off with expressive writing and then moved to persuasive writing and then to informational writing. And I say, I want you to talk about yourself. And you say, well, I haven't done anything amazing. No, I had one wonderful student who's water skied across Lake Erie. Bob Byro, his name was. Well, I think that's good. But the thing that you have to write about is not that you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro or that you won a great award, but that you're a human being. Oh, tragic. Oh, wonderful thought. And you're responsible for this life you've been given. It's the highest thing in creation. John Steinbeck writes about his temporary boss, who worked at the laboratory on Cannery Row. And his name is Ed Ricketts. And he says that when Ed Ricketts was a boy and a young man, he didn't like himself. Why did he get that in his head? And as he grew older, he found that other people liked him. Well, he said, well, maybe I'm not so bad after all. And he grew to like himself. You need to honor yourself and like yourself. It's not what you have done, but who you are, your gift. The most wonderful thing in creation. Only one life will soon be past. And there's a hymn, I don't like it very much, a dreadful hymn, but it's meaningful. It says, a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fitted for the sky. Arm me with jealous care. I won't go on with it, but it's a pretty somber hymn that we are responsible for ourselves. We have free will. And we need to pause and examine ourselves, kind of stand outside ourselves and look at ourselves lovingly maybe want to give yourself a hug. You are a gift of wondrous, tragic, glorious fact. And we're going to look at ourselves to make the best, to even survive. A lot of people, I hate to say this, have given up on the journey. The journey, you know, I like living. I like being old. I love being old. But life is real, life is earnest, said Longfellow. And I've been reading Edith Hamilton's book on mythology. And I stood back from this book, which talks about Greek Roman theology and Norse theology. And in both theologies, pre-Christian theologies, they picture life as pretty rough. And maybe we, in our educated and Christian and modern religious environment, want to think that life isn't rough. It's rough. But that doesn't mean that we need to be sour or hopeless, but it means that we need to expect the journey to be rough. I want to tell you something about traveling. It's difficult stuff. You go on a holiday, you're going to take a trip to Europe. Well, I'll tell you, the plane may be late, and you may be crowded next to a big fat slob on the airplane, and you'll miss the train, and the trip's not easy. And life is not easy. And we should recognize that. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. And that doesn't mean that you're depressed, but it means that you take life seriously and expect to have something on your hands. Now, I've just begun to talk about the inn. We're in the inn, and you're sitting down at lunch, and we're going to go out and look at yourself. But enough for one day, I'm told. Queen Victoria said, dinner is ready. And so, tune in next week. This is King Arthur bidding you Happy New Year.